Divine Rebels. Welcome once again. I'm really excited about this week's video. It is unlocking your magic for the week. And the topic is values. And I love this topic for many, many, many reasons, and how it can affect your life and change it and build self-confidence. Everything stems from here. It's almost like when you tap into your personal values that you are actually tapping into your own superpowers. So I'm gonna just kind of unpack values a little bit. We are all walking around with our own values. We are living, breathing our values, how we do things, how we operate, what makes us mad, what makes us happy, comes from our own personal values. And a lot of people, for a time, they are given values from their family of origin and their communities, whether it be church, religion, different communities, even, the values as you go to college, your values in middle school. The people who are around in the groups you're in all have their own values or common values. So as we mature soulfully, we start realizing that we're carrying around values that were given to us that are really not in our own personal DNA. So that's what I'm talking about, those ones that are core to you. They're really hard to see and hard to pinpoint. I have clients who have a hard time with them, and when people start telling them the things they see about them, they're like, oh, it feels good, yet it's like, oh, because we're operating from that. So there's two pieces of values I want to get to today. To unlock your own personal magic, it's important to find your core values, the ones that you live and breathe and you can't live without. And then we all have other values that are important, but at times not as important as those really, live by. So one part of finding those values is you can start kind of asking around, how do you see me? What, if you could name 3 things about me, what would it be? People feel your values, other people see how you operate. It's hard to decipher them on our own. The other way to find personal values, and it sounds counterintuitive, is what makes you really, really angry. What really just makes you crazy and just gets you going. Usually that means somebody or something has stepped on your values or rolled over the top of your values. And when you can identify what makes you really angry, I'll just give an example. My husband, fairness is just one of his things, that he will get really upset if things aren't fair. And it's wonderful. It's about justice. It's about what he sees as morally right and wrong. But he uses the word fair. So his word is fair. And that when things are fair, it's great. When things are not fair, he just, he can go for it. One of my core values is freedom. As a non-conforming person, freedom has always been my go-to, and I didn't know it for a long time. But when I get right down to it, that's what I cannot live without. I cannot not be free and have my own personal freedom. So that's a little bit about values. Another interesting thing I would like to talk about values is in business. I've gone to many conventions of women in small businesses, for my coaching, my career. And almost every single keynote speaker, and I wish I could give you the names of the businesses they own, they're all very recognizable, we know them. Every single keynote speaker I have ever heard speak talks about when they aligned themselves with their real values is when their businesses became successful. It went into their mission, it went into their vision statements, and that's how they operated. They hired, they fired, they made all of their decisions from if it was in alignment with their values. So when we know what our values are and we can stand upon them, making decisions are super easy. It takes the guesswork out. It takes second guessing yourself. You could always say, you know, I love this, but it did not, was not in alignment with our business or my personal values. So I had to let that one go. Even though it was a great idea and it sounds good, it just didn't fit in with my mission and my vision for myself or my business. It adds confidence, because when you can say, I have this big decision to make, whether it be in relationships, whether it be in your business, whether it be, am I going to pack up and move somewhere? What's the next thing for me is, what are your values? When you're making these decisions, you can pass it by your values. You know, if you limit it, you can't get all of your values, because we all have lots, but our core, I can't live without this in my life, and honoring that. Confidence comes from there. I have almost every single one of my clients I have ever worked with, ever, in business and nonprofits, in their mission of making the world a better place, the Divine Rebels that I work with. It is a big aha when they see their values written down, and that they can take that and use that as their lens to decide, make decisions. And it builds confidence, because they know they're on the right path as long as they're staying true to their values. So this week, in unlocking the magic and your personal, real life, this is mine values, I'm going to ask you to look maybe for one or two values that you're really living by today. Not the ones that you aspire to, the ones you're living by today. And flesh them out. Flesh them out and own them, because they could be your superpower. Oh, another story about me is, one of my superpowers is kindness and joy. And my kryptonite is meanness. So one of my measure sticks is when I hear people call other people names, just mean, there's no reason for their meanness, it shuts me down, and I start building boundaries. And I know it's a red flag. It's just that that's not what I want in my life at all. It takes away my joy, and I'm not willing to give that up. If you're mean, you're not allowed. So it's having your values. You also learn where to make your boundaries, and it gives you the confidence and the assuredness. One of my clients is courage. That's what she's living by currently, and making her decisions from courage. It just unlocks everything. It is one of the keys to your magic. It's an insight into your superpower and your gifts that you bring into the world. And it also helps tell you where your kryptonite is, what you can't stand being around. And it helps with your emotional intelligence. It helps when somebody is doing something that really gets you, really, ooh, is like, it opens the world for you to explore, you know, that made me really angry. What value did they just dishonor or disrespect? And it also gives you insight to the other person. It gives insight to yourself, first and foremost, and then it gives you insight to the other person. Everybody has a different operating system. It's not good or bad or indifferent. It is indifferent. It just is. So it helps give you an insight into what their values are and where they're operating from. And it can open up a door of compassion or a door for you to search for common values instead of being angry. You can say, that made me mad. They don't have the same value. And that's okay. They don't have to. And it takes the sting out. It takes, it helps to move through quicker, and your anger dissipates. It gives you a different insight. So you're not only unlocking your own magic, but you're unlocking your own magic to your relationships and honoring other people's values at the same time. And finding the common ground, which the world needs a lot of right now. And we need your magic. And I have a group program starting January, so for your new decade, to help get prepared. One of the things that we do go over in it that is a wonderful exercise is we look at your values, and then we have exercises for you to really, really, really narrow them down to 2. And it's crazy, and it's wonderful, and it's like, oh my gosh, it gives you so much freedom and so much magic to work with and to play with. So if you're interested, RebeccaCoaching.com is my website, and you can sign up there. I'm opening enrollment this week, and I hope to see you there. And in the meantime, have fun with your values and know that you're on the right track as you find them. Peace and love, and thank you. Bye.